let them know. Well, we live on YouTube and
Yup, we live on both of them.
Cool.
And we are officially live. All right,
You're gonna put it on the where you can see all of us, or is that or like that?
Yeah. I got you. Hold on. Oh man, having a job really cramps the podcast lifestyle. But I am grateful to be employed. I am grateful to be employed, for sure. First of all, as you guys, I should do the battle rapper thing or the rapper thing and be like, tap in.
We not starting until we got 15 people in here.
Oh man, we're gonna be here all night then.
I think you have to like roll a blunt in order for 15 people to show up. That's like
that's hilarious. That's what they do. Like they just pretend like they're finishing, they're rolling their blunt.
They're just rolling. That's it, bro.
That is so funny.
They can't go live without that.
They go live and they start rolling the blunt. And by the time they're done, like 12 people are in there. They're like, all right, yeah, we can get it going.
Like this
we can get it going.
Yo, every live, bro.
It's not like a battle rapper video. If the blunt's not there, it's not an official battle rap video.
Lord, we should literally do a parody like battle rapper live and just roll a blunt the whole time, bro.
Bro, that would be so funny, bro.
Like battle rapper live and just roll a blunt the whole time, bro.
Oh, what's going on? That would be so funny. That's too funny.
That's hilarious. All right, cool. So, all right, we're gonna go ahead and get this jump officially started. So, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, no matter where you may find yourself as you listen to this. And welcome to the only sports podcast that has brains and bars. You're tuned into another episode of It's a Black and White Thing. I am your host, A1, who's doing this without a script, so pray for me. You can check out every episode of It's a Black and White Thing by going to the podcast app of your choice, selecting or searching for Brains and Bars. If you're on iTunes, please follow us, subscribe and give us 5 stars, rate, comment, and subscribe. On every other podcast app of choice, please follow or subscribe. This episode and lots of others like it can be found on our YouTube page by searching Brains and Bars there. Please comment, rate, and subscribe and hit that notification bell so you can be alerted to all the latest content from the platform. Ding. And follow us on social media by going to Twitter, Instagram, YouTube, and searching at Brains and Bars. As always, as you can see, I'm joined by my 2 co-hosts. We'll start at the top left on my screen. Shout out to the homie A-Ward. How you doing this evening, sir?
What's good, man? Appreciate you guys for tuning in. I'm really enjoying. I just feel like we picked up a lot of steam, even with quarantine through Zoom. And so I'm grateful that we're able to get together and talk some more battle rap and sports. I've been doing well. I just woke up from a nap. So right now I'm just, trying to get a Mountain Dew in my system and trying to figure out what I'm going to do with the rest of my evening. But yes, life is treating me well. You guys can follow me at iamaward.com. Please just go to the website. It'll lead you to my merch, my social media hyperlink, so you can follow me on all social media. It'll kind of give you some information on what I do and where I do it. And as always, as of recent, we are also joined by the homie Loso. Man, how you been, bro?
I've been well, bro. I've been well. Today is a special episode for me because I finally reached my 10th episode with Brains and Bars.
Hey.
I don't even know if that's a fact, but I'm literally like estimating that I have. But it's been good, bro. Everything's been great. And if anyone is interested in following me, they can obviously go to everythingloso.com. You can hit all my hyperlinks to all of my social media as well. So thank you guys for having me again.
No problem. And as always, or as occasionally, we're joined by the young Ethan, who decided to make his cameo appearance. I think this might be his second episode of It's a Black and White Thing. And
would you like to say hi to the people?
Yes.
What's up, Ethan?
Hi.
What's up, bro?
What up, Ethan?
Hi. I was like giving him this.
He was giving me a burger.
Oh, that's what's up. That's what's up. One of these days.
All
One of
right.
these days, I will have kids that will bring me dinner, that will clean the house, that will go grab
Child
me
labor
a
laws.
beverage out of the refrigerator. I cannot wait.
That's what's up. So, we got a dope show lined up for you tonight. Couple of things, like as A-Ward alluded to, battle rap and sports related. So, if you are a new listener to the show, we always start off each show by going through what I've learned for this week. And what I've learned this week is that I'm busy. I'm a busy man at work, and I didn't have time to actually figure out what I've learned this week. So I have
Hilarious.
nothing. So with that being said, shout out to Armand, who said best part of children is free labor.
Hilarious.
I haven't reached that part where I have him doing everything for me yet, though. Just random thing. Yeah, not yet. But so since I've learned nothing this week, I'm going to turn it over to you, A-Ward. What are you looking forward to, sir?
What am I looking forward to this week? Well, I don't know if it's happening this week or not, but Kansas City, we got some very good news that not only has Patrick Mahomes signed a incredible deal, 10 years, $450+ million, but the most important news that we got this past week of Patrick Mahomes is that he's bringing a Whataburger to Kansas City.
Really?
We don't have Whataburger or In-N-Out, and like I like Whataburger a whole lot. So that has been something that I continue to look forward to covering. Whataburger is much better than In-N-Out Burger, in my opinion. In-N-Out Burger fries taste like cardboard. You got to eat it literally 5 seconds after they hand it to you. We could argue about burgers if you guys want on another show. However, that is what I am looking forward to, as well as continuing to cover the NBA coming back, continuing to watch the basketball tournament. I watched a little bit of it, some very, very entertaining games this past weekend. Now we're getting into the second round of the tournament with some of the more notable teams like Overseas Elite, Carmen's Army, the Bayheim Crew. Some of these teams you've watched over the last, 6 or 7 years. And then what else am I looking forward to? Oh, this weekend. Shout out to our brother, The Saga. Go follow him on all social media as well. Gnome X is here. So if you're a battle rap fan, Gnome is here this weekend. It is Saturday. It starts at 5 p.m. Eastern time. A lot of stuff going on with Gnome. COVID testing starting on Thursday to make sure everybody's good. I think it's 6 solid battles, and I'm definitely looking forward to Gnome. So
that's what's up. That's what's up. All right, Loso, what are you looking forward to, sir?
Same thing. I think the only thing that I'm looking forward to this weekend is obviously Gnome, the debut of our brother Saga. I think he has a formidable opponent, a great opponent, Mike P. That is actually I know we're gonna talk about it a little later, but that's my pick for battle of the night. But just with that, I mean, you got the return of Daylight, you got Loaded Lux, which is always a movie. No matter what you think about him, it's a big deal when he's on a card. So I am excited about that, bro.
That's what's up. That's what's up. So you guys can hit us up in the comments. Let us know what you're looking forward to this weekend, what you learned this week. If you are listening to us via podcast or on YouTube, hit us up at Brains and Bars, Facebook, Instagram, or in the comments on YouTube. Let us know what you're looking forward to and what you learned this week. So with that being said, let's get into the battle rap here, gentlemen. Let's get into the bars. So as you alluded to, Gnome X, Gnome 10 this weekend. Live on Caffeine from LA. Really dope card. I'm excited to see some, as you said, Saga make his debut. Mike P, main stage Mike, return to the main stage. Let's just start. Let's just get that one out the way, because obviously we got some connections here between the Horsemen and YTG. Shout out to that group. So let's just go ahead and jump into that battle first, and then we'll kind of work our way through the other ones. Saga versus Mike P, man. War, since you have you're more affiliated than Loso is. We're going to start with you. Your thoughts, Saga versus Mike P.
Man, it's a bittersweet matchup. I felt like both of them deserved Gnome. I didn't want to see them battle each other just for selfish reasons, because I like to cheer on Mike. I like to cheer on Saga, and I would definitely love to see them both, win, which in battle rap you can both win. So that's what we fully expect. Loso alluded to it earlier, battle of the night type match. I think that, as long as they both come and do what they've been doing over the last 2 years, that, it's the shoe in. It's the shoe in for not battle of the night, but just they're two high quality, consistent performers. So if to see any kind of battle that you would say is not live up to that, I don't think we're gonna see that. Mike P hasn't battled, to my knowledge, since his battle with Danny Myers, right? In
Correct.
person. I know
he's had
a
quarantine.
In the
battle.
quarantine, yeah.
He quarantined Tay-Rock, quarantined Rum Nitty.
Yeah, so he's had some time to sit back, and write. Saga's coming off what many consider to be the best battle this year so far with B-Dot. Yeah, man, I'm excited to finally watch him cook. I told both of them, I don't want to hear any bars. I don't want to hear, don't even tell me, oh, this third round is crazy. Like, I don't want to know that, So I'm going into it, with fresh ears and excited for it. So
that's what's up. Loso, your thoughts?
Yeah, so I'm going on record, and I am going to say this is the battle of the night. It's definitely going to be the battle of the night for me, just because out of all the battlers on the card, those two, that's just my cup of tea. This angle heavy, talk to him moments, breaking down each other. Like out of all the battles on the card, maybe you might see Jada Nightwing do it. Lux is obviously going to do it, you know what I'm saying? But as far as both opponents going at each other, that's going to be the matchup that's going to have the most chess moves, I think, inside the battle. And I'm looking forward to it because just from I haven't spoken to Mike P, but me watching him on social media, he looks super focused. I know Saga is super focused, so I'm excited for that. But I am leaning towards Saga. I think Saga wins this battle.
All right, cool. So you know what? We're gonna make a rule, or I'm gonna throw out a rule, and you guys tell me you agree. Everybody gets one debatable card to play.
Yeah.
You get one debatable. So out of the 6 matchups, you can choose one. If you don't want to give a winner, you can play. You can throw the debatable card. Ward will give you a pass on this, obviously, because you got connections.
Wow.
Either side. We did that for Bad News and Ace Amin for you.
Facts.
We did that for you in Ultimate.
No. Let me correct you. You made me not say anything because I had heard their rounds. I was willing to still give a winner.
Okay, true.
This is true too.
So Ward, your discretion. I'm not going to put that on you.
This is Ward's debatable battle, unless Ward wants to pick a winner.
No, this is my debatable battle. There you go.
All right, cool.
I'm very confident in picking winners and the others.
Yo, shout out to the comment section. Alex Boschers met Ward at a T-Bones game. Says he.
My God.
Let's see.
I still got the baseball you gave me.
He said Saga's on the killing spree. Dre the Great said the only predictions that matter. Thank you, sir. Obviously, you're not here for me though. You're here for them. So, but still, much appreciated. Team Horseman
on YouTube or Facebook?
Yeah, this is on YouTube. This is YouTube. So
cool.
I have a handy little deal where I can see both YouTube and Facebook comments.
Look at you, fancy.
Shout out to Team Horseman. Armand said Saga 2-1. Taro Westbrook. This is going to be a great battle. And
my God,
to you, sir.
Taro.
Shout out to the homie Taro.
Absolutely. So, my kind of quick thoughts on the battle. I'm excited to see. I'm a fan of Mike. I've been a fan of Mike's for a long time. I know he said that this isn't overdue. This is what's owed to him. And so, shout out to that. But I'm excited for him to get this look, excited for Saga to get this look. Man, I'm going to go Saga 2-1. And I think it will be the battle of the night because I think there are a lot of people with things to prove on this card. And we'll jump into the next matchup, which of two guys have something to prove and something to earn. But I think these two gentlemen are going to come to put on the show. It's going to be a dope battle. And I can't wait to watch it. Shout out to Bay in the comments. It's probably better, Ward, that you can't see the comments. I don't know if you actually.
I should have never picked that joint up. Let me go back to Facebook, man.
Shout out to Bay. But yeah, I got Saga 2-1. So let's jump into this next battle.
It was 7, Bay. It was 7. Never mind. All right, keep going.
Shout out to the people in the comment section. But let's jump into this next battle. Where people have something to prove. Jada Nightwing versus Fonz, Ultimate Madness Finals, $25,000. Now there is literally $25,000 on the line. I know people throw that out a lot as you go through the tournament, but these two gentlemen advanced from the semis. Jay the Nightwing, he scraped by. He scraped. He scraped by because had Rubando probably got through that third clean, a couple of haymakers, he's probably facing Fonz in the finals. Obviously, we know the issues that happened in the battle with Ace and Fonz, but Ace came through as the winner with the judges. And so I'm sorry, Fonz. Yeah, thank you for correcting me. Fonz came through as the winner, and these two gentlemen, I think, even with the issues with Fonz's battle, I felt like this was the weakest material he had put forth throughout the entire tournament. Jay said it. He said he stacked his first 2 rounds and went real light on his third to save material for Gnome. And so these gentlemen who have been really good throughout the tournament now have a lot to prove, and now 25,000 on the line. I'll go first. I'm going to go Fonz 2-1. I think Ace Amin showed that there were levels in terms of the writing between he and Fonz. And maybe if some of these other things, the stuff that doesn't happen.
2-1?
Fonz 2-1 over Jay the Nightwing.
Okay, keep on.
So I think Ace Amin showed there was a difference in level in writing. I don't know if Jay is going to be able to show the difference in levels in writing. I think Fonz is going to be amped up. He's going to punch Jay's head off. And I think that's going to be enough to get the dub. So, Loso, I'm going to throw it to you. Your thoughts, Fonz versus Jay the Nightwing.
Yeah, agreed. I think both of them. I think Jay had a more convincing win than Fonz.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
Fonz definitely, unfortunately, it was just a lot of things going on in that battle. And therefore, you saw him kind of like stumble through his third and stuff. I actually did think that his rounds had some good material in it, though. I don't know if it was his weakest. I know it was definitely his weakest performance. But with Jay the Nightwing, same thing. Obviously, he made it known, hey, I'm stacking these first 2. And he did not believe Rue was going to be able to fight back in that second. So therefore, that third that left the door open. But, we have Jay and Fonz. And honestly, they've been the best 2. Like, these are the 2 best team. These the 2 best players, obviously, in the tournament. They made it, and that's kind of what you want to see. So, I'll go ahead and get to the matchup. I think Jay the Nightwing wins this battle 2-1. I know you don't believe in this, but I do think he has some sort of momentum going into this battle. Fonz did not. Yeah.
Okay,
Fonz did not. I don't know. I know Fonz has the ability to punch through angles, but if you've been listening to Jay the Nightwing's rounds, besides the third round for Rubando, I think Jay the Nightwing has put together the most complete battle rapping rounds in the whole tournament every single time. You know what I'm saying? I think it's gonna be no different. I think he's waiting for this. This is his coming home party, bro. This is 25,000 on the line. So I'm going with Jay 2-1 against Fonz, and Fonz is actually really, really good.
Hey, hold up. A couple of things. Remind me to come back when we start talking sports. I got some motivation stuff for you, number 1. Number 2, shout out to Rubando, man. Rubando was killed. We didn't give him any chance. We didn't give him a shot.
Right.
That we talked about him needing a crowd, and there was a crowd there in that second round. Crowd or not, would have been crazy, period. I know, Ward, you talked about stacking all of your best punches in one round. And I mean, granted, he had some nice stuff in his first 2, but that second round was bananas. And so shout out, he was right there. They
gave me Nightwing after DC comic, the Facebook Live, one phone call, like.
Yeah, he had a lot of stuff.
Gave Nightwing to a person who's clearly been robbing. Like, come on,
AFC wing on my bucket list.
Like, he has some bars, yo. Yeah. So anyway, number 3, which cat was that, Ward?
That was Mila. Mila made a cameo appearance. The dog's in the kennel, so she feels like that she owns the house now. So I think she's trying to like visit every area that she's been like afraid to go to over the last 6 weeks. So
hilarious. All right. So your thoughts, Fonz versus Ace Amin.
Midwest, man. Midwest movement.
Fonz versus Jay the Nightwing.
Dang it, my fault.
This guy, Midwest movement, man. I'm going with Fonz 2-1. I think that Jay the Nightwing's delivery, his pacing, I don't know, is this still a 2-minute round like battle? Is it the same as the tournament, or is it?
I don't know.
I would hope so.
If it's not, I think Fonz could probably stack a lot more punches, and Jay kind of enjoyed the 2-minute rounds for memorization reasons. When was their last battle? Was it 2 weeks ago, or did they get 3 for this?
2.
So
2 weeks
it's
ago.
still another 2-week prep battle. I think you probably saw that Jay was running out of steam more than Fonz there towards the end of the tournament, as far as just writing every 2 weeks and the memorization pieces of it. But I will say this much: with a battle like Fonz and Ace Amin, with how it went down, usually battles like that garner a lot of attention, a lot of like things happening, it provides a lot more haymakers, a lot different angles, a lot of like just creativeness to go around, getting bumped a couple times, almost fighting, the battle almost getting turned off, all these different kinds of things. It provides content, and so if Jay can utilize some of that in angles, I think it'll be dangerous. But I'm going with the puncher. I'm going with Fonz just because it's solely off the Midwest. I think it's going to be a close battle, but Midwest over here over everything. The South, the North, the East, the West, all of y'all.
All right, so Dre the Great says Jay is going to beat him with presence and performance. Shout out to Andrew Holland. He says he's really excited for Fonz and Jay, Mike P and Saga in particular. Fonz needs to show more than just punches. Armand said Jay 2-1, and yes, Rue almost had the comeback upset of the year. So so let's go ahead and jump into the next battle. We got I'm gonna go John the Dom versus Ill Will. Interesting battle. Like, I would have preferred to see John versus nothing against Ill Will. Ill Will was my pick for Cody of the year last year, so it's nothing against Ill Will. It's just I can't remember the battle I had in my mind that I would have preferred to see John take. I'm going to play my debatable card here. John is really hard to beat. It's hard to beat him clearly. Ill Will has definitely been, coming off 2019, a really good run. Good battle against 40 Cal, and I feel like never mind. I'll just play my debatable card and I'll throw it over to you guys. So Ward, what you got? John versus Ill Will.
I have Ill Will winning the battle, clearly. I just think John, right, you say that neither one of them lose often, and I think sometimes John wins just kind of based off the fact that, this is going to sound weird. Like, I've never seen John beat or do very well against like a personality like Ill Will, and I think that's what it's going to boil down to. Is I like Ill Will's charisma, his presence, his personality, and kind of stuff like that can really, really overtake John in my opinion. You go against Rum Nitty's a puncher. John kind of neutralizes it with angles and different things like that. I don't know what John neutralizes, Ill Will with. I think Ill Will does it all, Geechee's more of a street credibility kind of guy. John goes in, he kind of neutralizes it. He punches, he does, just enough or whatever. John to me is a solid battle rapper. He's a solid battle rapper. John has very rarely ever wowed me, like just straight up, like bar wise, and just do you remember that John battle wise? He's never really wowed me. Probably the last time he wowed me was against Hitman or against like somebody way back. Now to me he just kind of coasts through. And it sucks to say because the goal of battle rap should not be to never lose. It should not be to survive. It should always be to be better than your last performance, to continue to get better, to do something that reinvents yourself, to create something. You know what I mean? That should be your goal every battle. And I feel like John for years has just been the guy who doesn't lose. And if that's what you want to get out of battle rap, cool. That's not what I want to get out of battle rap. So I got Ill Will.
All right, cool. Stop instigating, Armand. Anyway, I'll read the comment in a second. Go ahead, Loso.
Yeah, so I think if not for Mike P and Saga, I would have said this was going to be battle of the night. These are two of the most consistent dudes, I think. Ill Will's a guy, bro, that he wins and sometimes, like, bro, I was just watching him versus T-Top, and like that's such a underrated 30, bro. Like
Oh
he's
yeah.
30 T-Top, and no one talks about it, bro.
And
Like
remember
he
we were
literally,
there? Oh my
we were
God.
there, bro. And I was watching. I was like, is this really happening? Like, it's such an underrated body that like it's a huge win over a formidable opponent, but it's like it got swept under the rug. But that's the ill will that you're known to get. Like he's gonna go in and he's gonna just like overshadow his opponent. And so against a guy like John though, I think I don't know, I kind of disagree with Ward. I know that John doesn't lose, but I think there's times that he does win and that he does wow. I mean, were you wowed at Jack Boy's second round versus Jack Boy?
I mean, of course. What? Yeah.
Like
I guess you're right. Yeah. So, but to me, it was heavily leaned on the antics of the round. Like I guess I'm looking at it from a bar wise standpoint. Now, granted, in battle rap, you have to be able to have that, you know. And like, I mean, he destroyed Jack Boy's entire existence. You know what I mean? But you know, like so, and I don't want to take anything away. So I should retract my statement and say that was an incredible round. He freaking did amazing. You know what I mean? I just think back that there's not much that John has said bar wise or that he has done that I can't sit here and tell you, you know, maybe we talked about that bundles and I don't even know if I can remember it exactly. Maybe his bundles line, a ball head and a ball head or something like that.
Business is booming.
Business is booming line against Geechee.
Yeah.
And maybe like I think he called Rum like a one trick pony in the battle or something like that. Something like
well rounded.
I don't think I like the well rounded bar, but
the freestyle, the free Willy.
Yeah. Oh yeah. But so forgive me for that. So I'm glad you brought that up. So forgive me for the Jack Boy piece.
Yeah, so I think so what I was bringing with John, I think John does win. I mean, so I kind of so I feel you, Ward, about like battle rap not being about not losing. But unfortunately, in an opinionated sport, like and in such a subjective sport, that is what it is, right? Like my thing is like for you, Ward, like people can go ahead and debate like, oh, I think DNA might have edged them. I think Ilmac might have edged them. I think Madflex might have edged them. But at the end of the day, no one can say, yo, I beat A Ward. You know what I'm saying? And so like that, unfortunately, because we don't have wins and losses, because champion of the year wasn't around the whole time and it's not a consistent thing or whatnot. And it's not like a consistent rubric to go ahead and judge every battle rapper. The not losing thing does kind of hold some credence. And I think that the opponents that John has, sometimes he's always like, I remember going into Genesis, people were saying, yo, Chess was going to win because Chess was on a hot streak before Geechee and John. Geechee was going to win. Rum Nitty on a hot streak. Rum Nitty's going to beat John. And John goes in there and he does what he does. Now, granted, I do remember Daylight saying a similar statement, what you said about not wowing. He said, John always does the speed limit on the highway. He never goes 80. He never goes 90. John does a smooth 65, 70. He's following all of the sides. You know what I'm saying? Like Daylight hit it on the Daylight was just like, yo, John just does the speed limit. And I've never seen John. Now, granted, John is not getting pulled over. He's not causing any car accidents. He's not doing any of that. But he's also not going, doing more than what you asked. But for me, I do think though that so for me though, I do think that John actually is going to win the battle. I have him beating Ill Will. Is going to be a close battle, 2-1. But if I can throw this in here, I don't know how much trouble. If there's a battle that is not going to go down because of COVID testing, it will actually be the John Ill Will battle. So
you're saying that John is battling Ill.
Yeah, right, exactly. So
I feel like there's gonna be a coffin or something.
Yeah. But with all that though, I would lean towards John.
Yo, I just thought of a fire bar. Dang. It said Lux brought the coffin to the stage. Well, not this time.
Yeah.
So I just want to kind of touch back on that. So I somewhat understand where you're at with John. I would just say that this much is like there's a difference between guys like myself and Mad Flex. You know, like I feel like, you know, Mad Flex doesn't lose, you know, but Mad Flex doesn't wow people. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And then there are guys like myself who might not lose, but might have that more performance or heavy or moments or different things like that kind of gives me an extra push, you know? But needless to say, like you said, both of them very, very dope. They do their thing. I would be interested to know when is the man, and it's probably tough. When's the last time like John got the best version of an opponent? And do you think it's because it's John? I don't think it's because it's John.
I feel like Twerk.
And he lost that one though.
John battle Twerk. I'm trying to think of that battle.
Yeah. He lost that battle.
Oh, with
in Atlanta,
where he cut the round off and everything.
Yeah,
with Jack Boy. Yeah.
And he was probably on his way to losing. Yeah,
because Twerk's first 2 rounds were really good.
Yeah,
I mean, like I don't know if you could say he got the best version, but I thought Geechee. I mean, I know you didn't like the Geechee John battle, but it was a good battle. The Hollow, I mean, was that a terrible Hollow that John beat? Because I thought John beat Hollow.
He did not get a great Hollow though. He did.
Yeah.
He didn't.
And I'm a big proponent of that's not John's fault. You know what I mean?
It is not.
But I think
he comes up and
exactly.
and bro, those battles. Think about it. The Geechee one, that was the main event that night. The Hollow the Don, that was Summer Madness main event. You know what I'm saying? In London, like my thing is like, if there's any time for these opponents to show up, hey, go ahead and show up. But my thing is like, if they don't.
But do they know that they know that they don't have to show up because John's not gonna smoke them?
That's what they probably think.
They probably think like, you know, like, look, it's John, you know, and I mean, like I said, I don't have any issues with John. I respect his craft. I respect, you know, the tenure that he has and what he's given to battle rap and stuff. But if I was paired up to battle John, like there's not I would not have any kind of fear as to him out punching me, out scheming me, out joking me, out performing me at all, you know? Like there's not a facet of battle rap that I would fear that he would outdo me in.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. So comment section. Armand said, "Never wowed me." Quote, "Never wowed me." Unquote. Someone set up that battle war versus John. So someone asked, "Do you think the Ace Amin situation is going to give Ill Will ammo?" It's battle rap. Everything is ammo. You know, I could see Ill Will going. I talked to Ace Amin. He told me he was gonna beat y'all, and I believe him too. So no, it's battle rap, man. Everything is ammo. So absolutely. Right. John did chess dirty. John's second round of chess was really fire. John the Don knows how to win from Kyle Russell. So shout out to y'all in the comment section. So we're 3 battles down, 3 more to go. Let's jump into Geechee Gotti versus Averb. Last battle added to the card. You know, been a lot of talk around this battle. They were on URL Primetime Live, whichever one of the vehicles on Caffeine, going back and forth last week. I'm going with Averb, man. I got Verb too. I think in battle rap, sometimes people kind of get on this thing of they're heavy favorites. And I know Verb is, you know, kind of been Lyrical Miracle. He's been Vegan Verb. He's been, you're gonna love it on the playback. I know the DNA battle was one I think that happened for a lot of people. A lot of people had DNA winning at first. Then they went back and watched it again and had a different opinion. So I watched this was either during Genesis. This might have been during Genesis or either Gnome, one of the two. Champion shot the Champion. Champion had some footage outside a hotel. Geechee Gotti and Averb kind of going back and forth a year ago. And Verb said something to Geechee about weaknesses. He goes, battle rappers that give me a tough time. And I can't remember the rappers. He said nerds. I forget, it was disrespectful. Whatever Averb's weak, like battlers that give him trouble. He goes, they're nerds, they're guys who aren't cool, stuff like that. He goes, Geechee, your weaknesses are guys who can rap and who don't have to try to outgun bar you and out street talk you, right? So he obviously, no offense, Ward, he brings up that battle. But I think Verb got something for Geechee, man. I think small room, no crowd. If you talk about big stage, I would take Geechee and probably Geechee clear. No, I shouldn't say clear because it's hard to beat Verb clear. But I'm going to take Verb 2-1, upset, shocking a lot of people because a lot of people think Geechee's going to win this battle. Who went first last time?
Ford.
Loso, it's on you.
So Geechee is the heavy favorite. I don't know how Verb is going to win this battle, bro. I just don't see a scenario in which Verb wins the battle. I do remember his last URL battle, I guess, which is the DNA battle. I remember in the building, everybody just felt like, man, Verb got smoked bad. On the playback, I remember listening. I said, yo, Verb was really talking to DNA and breaking him down. I say all that to say this, man. I think Verb actually pulls it off 2-1 as well, bro. I don't know how, but I think in this room, somehow Verb is going to be rapping and in a card where everyone is going to be wanting to hear rapping because they know Lux is on the scene and Daylight's on the scene, and Verb is going to be across a guy who obviously I think can punch and obviously I think can talk to, and there's tons of things he can say to Verb, but Verb, I think he can neutralize that, bro. And somehow, some way, I'm leaning because Geechee is such a heavy favorite. He might be. I think he's the most favorited battler to win in their matchup out of all of them.
Easy.
Out of all the matchups. But I'm leaning towards Verb 2-1.
So I'm with that. I want to know what battler is being favored more than Geechee is.
Daylight, bro. I think Daylight might be just as much of a favorite to beat Tay Rock.
You think so?
Considering how Tay Rock's been in the element of what we're looking at, and it's just a small room type vibe. I think that, I would say that it's arguable. It's arguable. I'm cool with still saying Geechee, but I would say it's arguable that Daylight is just as much of a favorite over Tay Rock.
Okay, all right. So we'll get to that one next. But go ahead. Your thoughts on Geechee?
Midwest, man. Midwest. I'm taking Verb. Taking 2-1. Here's what I'll say. Geechee battles a lot. People seem to think that he's not slowed down by how much he battles, and I disagree. I think Geechee is best like full 3 rounds. I don't know. Yeah, it's like sometimes it's been like he did great against Twerk. I thought he had 3 great rounds against Twerk, but like sometimes lately I'm thinking Geechee's giving me 1 incredible round, 1 solid round, and 1 round. And against Verb in this setting, I don't think he can afford to do that. Geechee actually impressed the mess out of me against Chilla Jones in his second round. That's a scary Geechee Gotti. So his second round against Chilla Jones, where he starts angling, and he really starts using substance to his advantage, and he doesn't rely on the 6 feet bars and the normal Geechee Gotti, type bars.
Pop.
Like the dude literally said, if you're such a kingpin, why didn't you use a better pen to sign a contract with? Like those lines in that second round that he was hitting Chilla Jones with substance angles and stuff like that. I'm like, yo, if he could recreate this and do this, like at least once a battle against somebody, use a heavy angle with substance and do that, and then have his 3rd rounds and then take his punches and put him, like Geechee could be really scary. But I'm eager to see kind of what kind of environment it is. So I think that I heard that you can only have 24 people in a building at most, right? So you have to anticipate 8 of them to 12 of them being probably staff, Caffeine, Smack, Beasley, these kind of guys. So I don't think we're going to see the same type of environment we even saw for Loso and JC, or Rubando and Nightwing, or Ace and Fonz. Like it seemed like there was more people in the room then, unless just was like 6 or 7 people making a lot of noise. So I think it's going to be more towards like what we saw in the beginning Ultimate Madness battles, where it's a lot of just like no crowd reaction at all. And in that case, I think that it favors Verb. And I anticipate Verb having, 3 good rounds, shorter rounds too. Hope, if it's shorter rounds too, I think that favors Verb. Geechee just battled Chilla Jones. Maybe he's not writing 3-4 minute rounds. But yeah, I don't know how long he's known about the battle, but it seems like they talked about how it's on 30 days notice, which is really, that's enough time. But yeah, I got Verb 2-1. And I think that I think he's gonna have, man, it's gonna be fun. It's gonna be fun, man. I think it's gonna be a really good battle. I think it is. I just in my mind I'm envisioning like Geechee sells bundles and weaves and Verb, the lines that he could like go in and like use, on that or whatever, the angles and stuff. And I'm hoping that it comes out the way that I want it to. So.
Yeah. First of all, speaking of Geechee and Chilla, shout out to Chilla, who got busy on that rooftop. How's it feel to be back on URL? My bars never left. Yeah. Yeah. He did his thing in that battle, man. Let's see. Somebody said they missed the old Verb. Geechee 2-1. I'm gonna be honest with you. I thought I was gonna be the Lone Ranger on that on this battle. I thought I was gonna be the only one who takes Verb. So now I'm actually scared that y'all agree with me. But we'll see. All right, so let's jump into the penultimate battle: Daylyt versus Tay Roc. The return of Daylyt, Night of My Excellence. I thought that was a bar from that trailer. That trailer was fire, by the way. Shout out to the Reds for putting together that trailer. So I think early on, initially, people had to get back to the discussion of who was the biggest favorite. I think initially people had Daylyt overwhelmingly over Tay Roc, but I think in terms of this will be Tay Roc's first face-to-face battle this year, right?
Yes.
First face-to-face battle.
Did he battle Glue Easy? He battled Glue Easy on the same. No,
okay, so that
was a long time. But yeah.
No, that was 2019. That wasn't this year, right?
That was January.
That wasn't the same card as
January.
Mike and Danny?
January.
Yeah, Mike and Danny. Yeah, January.
So when did Jerry West and Glue Easy happen?
That was last year.
Oh, okay. All right. So, I think that Tay Roc is watching all the people doubt him. I think that I have Daylyt winning. At first, when I first heard the announcement, I had Daylyt 30. I had this body of the night. I had him, people in the comments saying Daylyt leaving Earth. I had all of that. But when I stopped and kind of had some more time to reflect on it, Tay Roc is very consistent, one of the most consistent guys in battle rap. He's going to have at least one crazy round. You already know. Again, he's been sitting, so he's got time and material to put together. If he can find a solid angle to go at Daylyt with, I think it could be really effective, even though, again, no large room, no big crowd. I got Daylyt 2-1. Loso, how you call it?
Yeah, I got Daylyt pretty clear in this battle. I think Roc is still Roc, though, so that's why I think why people have Roc winning, and or some people are leaning towards Roc. Roc is Roc. Roc is gonna be ready. Roc's gonna have 3 rounds, but I just think that the setting just sort of favors Daylyt, bro. And I just can't think in my mind a scenario in which Daylyt doesn't come out and his fans. And you got to think about it. Roc is not only battling Daylyt, but he's battling his return. It's not return gas in the building, but it's definitely gonna be return gas in the comments. So everything Daylyt is saying, I mean, caffeine is just gonna be in the palm of his hand. So I think Daylyt wins this battle pretty clear.
All right. What?
I'm taking Roc. I'll take Roc. So I'm gonna take Roc because I just don't trust Daylyt. And that's just the facts of it. I don't trust Daylyt to have 3 full rounds. You have a whole different type of platform and lights and eyes on Daylyt now with cameras and stuff, and we know how he likes to act when it comes to just new audiences and new people and any way to sell himself by just being silly and dumb. So I would not be surprised if Daylyt is just vintage Daylyt and does some weird stuff. With that being said, I think Roc, I think this is one of those battles that people think Roc can't win. And I'm hoping that, it doesn't happen too often for Roc. I'm hoping that really puts a chip on his shoulder. So I'm gonna take Daylight gives a round away, and then they both win a round apiece. And so I'm going Rock 2-1.
All right. Let me ask one quick question. I had this in my head and I forgot. I want to jump back to Geechee Gotti real quick. You mentioned that Geechee battles a lot, right? Is he reaching the point of his career where he can start to battle, at least on URL, 2 to 3 times a year and just request big bags for these large battles? Because I mean, he's faced just about everybody from his class, and right now he's battling, some of the. I mean, Verb is a Mount Rushmore candidate. He's talked about wanting to battle Goods, right? Solidified vet. Charlie Clips, top tier. Like he's asking for these, wanting to battle these top tier names, and the top tier names are interested, right? So it's not like they're just like, get out of here. No, they're interested in battling him. So is he reaching this point to where he could just say, I'm a battle on 2 volumes, a Summer Madness and a Gnome, and I'm going to whatever my price is, which is something he referenced, right? I mean, I think one of that second round, he says to Chilla, you've been around here longer than me, but yet I'm considered the one giving you the shot, right?
Yeah.
So I mean, like, is he reaching that status to where he can just say, I'm battling 4 times this year on URL, my price is going up 30%?
He could move like a Surf, but I don't think that's in Geechee's personality. I mean, I think he's just a competitor. He loves battle rap. He knows that he can capitalize off of these battles, and so you're gonna find him in the band settings. You're gonna find him in the maybe one-offs. Like it's not a surprise. But at the same time, though, if Geechee did want to just call out big names, you're not gonna get any pushback. If Geechee said, "Yo, I want Murder Mook," no one's gonna be like, "You don't deserve him." You know what I'm saying? You're a 2-time champion of the year. You put on every time you battle. You never choke. Like Geechee has already earned that. So I do think he has reached that level, but I doubt that we'll see Geechee move like that.
All right.
No, I don't agree with that. I think that Geechee could be Tay-Rock. I think Geechee could do that. But not Surf. Not like Surf and not like Hitman and not like some of these other guys. There are probably 5, maybe 5 people who, that are so much bigger than battle rap and that are so much like they're literally like kind of celebrities, in real life. And guys like Surf and guys like Hitman, guys like Conceited, guys like that, these are the guys that like are ticket sellers to the point to where getting them on the card is just that much more, than some of these other just really, really, really great, really well-known battle rappers. So I don't think Geechee has broken into that particular piece. But I think that he could, and I don't know the business side of it. Yeah, he could come back and battle like Rock and just battle on like the Summer Madnesses and Gnomes and different things, but I don't think he could make a living off of it to the point to where, like a Surf or a Lux or a Hitman or one of these guys, So I think there's still some work to be done in that aspect. Because, I mean, once you become a certified star in battle rap, as long as you don't literally, choke away all of your battles and cry, like you literally can pretty much do everything you want, in battle rap. Like you can, like, once URL has stamped you as the face of their brand or the guy that is the guy to beat, like that's, you can come back 3 or 4 times because that's the people you have to impress is URL, that's the ones. It doesn't matter about the fans. So.
All right, cool.
Daylight got $4 trillion for this battle. So
yeah, right.
Hilarious.
What I do think that though there are battlers like I mean maybe not make a living, but I do think like if it's in his decision to just like, yo, you know what, I just want to do these big battles, he could do that. Like what I was saying, I just don't think that's in his like personality, so we won't see Geechee do that. Because like you look at like you're gonna have the Conceders and the Hitmans, but those are like obviously generational like personality talents that like transcended.
And I don't think we're making those anymore is kind of what I was getting to.
But what I'm saying is like you have guys that move like that aren't that, right? Like you have like to me, Goods and Calico aren't Hitman and Surf, right? But at the same time, they move like that, though. You don't see them often. When they do get on the big card, it's a big deal, you know what I'm saying? And they choose, yo, I'm not coming out unless I get a big bag and unless it's on a big card.
Yeah.
So if Geechee wanted to,
If he wanted to, yeah.
You know what I'm saying? He could, but what I'm saying is it's just not in his like DNA to go ahead and even lack for better words. Like it's just not in his DNA to go ahead and like move like
it's not in his DNA to not battle every week.
Yeah, right. Exactly.
Yeah.
Hilarious. Shout out to Armand. He said he could sit out, but he says he's too much of a competitor, and he says if they paying, he's playing. So let's jump into.
So let me ask you that just real quick. Like, at what point do you realize that? So in your head right now, if you're getting X amount of dollars, right, and you say, yo, you know what? Instead of me just getting, you know, and this is not anything, instead of me just getting $1,000, you know, every month, like I should just charge them $6,000 for 2 battles, right? Mm-hmm. Because my name is already where it's at, and I've already proven what I needed to prove, right? Why would you not do that? Like, I mean, like personally, like I get that people want to be a part of the competition, but when you have 50 battles and you're battling everybody or whatever, like, why would you not try to separate yourself and your brand, you know? I mean, because to me, the one issue would be financially, you know, consistent money. Yeah. You know, so I'm just sitting there thinking like, I don't understand why you would not want to if you think you could. So.
Yeah, I don't know what his number is, you know what I'm saying? I think that Geechee has got himself into a 5-figure record. Like he could ask for 5 figures. I think so. You know what I'm saying? I think he could definitely get 10,000. Like if he said, hey, we're main event, like Genesis, like the Genesis card, when he was the main event with Twerk, like he could have easily said, and I don't know, but he might have gotten 5 figures, you know what I'm saying? But he could have easily said, y'all want 10,000, you know what I'm saying? And obviously,
so but with him battling so much, do you think there are $10,000 battles left on the table? So we talked about Suge, and Suge doesn't have a whole lot of battles, you know. But for Geechee, you might have goods and clips.
Yeah, you have goods and clips. I mean, Geechee can build a storyline. I'm thinking like, you know, he can do Hitman Holla. You know what I'm saying? Like I said, if Geechee came out and said, I want to battle Mook and build up some way to go ahead and do that, none of us are gonna be like, you don't deserve Mook. You know what I'm saying?
Of course.
Maybe a Pat Stay battle. You know what I'm saying? Like there could be certain scenarios in which Geechee could possibly do that. But you look at somebody else like a Hitman. He has about like 5 battles that can be potential. You know, like even a Twerk Hitman. You know what I'm saying? Like it's just like Hitman just has so many that you can just lock him in with for that. So Geechee could possibly do that, but you're right, taking all those small battles and just battling these guys on these small cards, it dilutes his material, dilutes his price. But I do think that like I said, bro, just being back-to-back champion of the year. I mean, he's made what off a champion of the year? 10,000 each?
Yeah.
Is that what it is? Yeah, you know what I'm saying? 10,000 each or so. I think he could. I just don't think that. I agree. Like he's just not gonna do that.
Yeah.
And you're right. It's only a handful of guys that actually move like that.
And listen, you know, Geechee has Cal, goods, clips. You already brought up Holla.
I'd say that'd be a good battle.
Pat Stay, Twerk. If Twerk could say, "Look, let's run it back," and I don't think URL is going to say no to that. If they
Geechee has a rematch with Ward, Gotti Ward 2.
I need 5 figures.
Yo, why is Gotti Ward 2? Why is Gotti Ward 2 the most fire battle boxing name of all time, bro?
Yeah, that's a fact.
Like Gotti Ward, bro. I
mean, they had a trilogy, so you know. But yeah, so let's jump into this main event. Then we get into these sports. Tsu Surf versus Loaded Lux. I'm gonna be short and to the point. Initially, I thought Lux was going to destroy Surf. Small room, no crowd. You got to focus on the bars. I've already played my debatable card. I wish I could play it here. I am close to saying Surf 2-1. I am like this close to saying Surf 2-1, but it's not close enough for me to actually pick against Loaded Lux in a small room with no crowd where you can to me, the issue with Lux has been, my thing is I shouldn't have to watch your battle back to determine that you won. I should be able to watch in real time and go, I got it. And I get this whole Lux's rounds age like fine wine and you can watch them over and over again. I'm cool with that. B-Dot and Saga was fire. I caught everything the first time. The majority of the things the first time.
I was about to say.
I didn't have to go back and rewatch it 4 and 5 times and be like, oh, okay, now this popped out. I'm hoping that Lux learned from the 2-on-2 with Hollow in terms of how to create material that is fire but still easily digestible. I'm going to say Lux 2-1, but I would not be surprised if Surf at the end of that event, if people are going Surf 2-1, because I think Surf is ready.
Hey, I'm gonna keep it short and sweet. A1, I'm playing my debatable card, bro. It's on you, A1. I think that battle's gonna be fire, bro. I just don't know, but I've got it on you, A1.
All right, Lux 3-0. Like I don't have it as close.
Wow.
Yeah, so I got Lux 3-0. And that's just based off, it might be, just the type of battle rap I enjoy. And it might be based off just a small room feel. I thought Surf was decent against Reed Dollaz in a small room. I thought that, had he battled Rum Nitty in a small room, like with that material, like all of that, like really stretched and reachy scheming that he does and stuff that I just don't like, like stuff that I'm looking at like, nah, that's just not it, I think it comes to light in the small room with no crowd reaction and no, I-30 is in real life, type stuff. All right, Loso's got to get up out of here, my dude. Thanks for joining us for real, bro. We appreciate you, man. And so that's kind of why I got Lux 3-0. Like he's also had what I believe to be a year to prepare. How long's it been?
Lux, I mean, yeah, no 9 against Verd was the last time he battled.
But like, when did they announce he was battling Surf? It's been a long time ago.
That was like either end of 2019, because like that first press conference was like either end of 2019, early 2020. So yeah, they've had a long time to prepare for each other.
Mm-hmm. And so the thing is like, the longer you get to sharpen that when you're intricate and stuff, man, I got Lux. I don't see Lux losing around clearly. So in my 3-0, it could be gentlemen's, it could be, a couple debatable rounds or whatever, but I just don't see Lux losing around clearly at all, sir.
Hey man, like I said, I feel like so with Surf, like I know the Rum Nitty battle, he had like 2 and a third rounds. For Geechee Gotti, like he had 3 fire rounds. And I just think that for this particular opponent, like I just don't think he's coming up. I think he's going to have 3 really dope, well-constructed rounds. And I think, like I said, I got Lux, but I think it's going to be closer than you think.
I just go back and forth about the type of opponent. Like Geechee, when he spits, like that was such a great, like the styles, you know what I mean? Like that's why that was so great, against Rum Nitty. Like I think that he had some of the advantages and just stature and just like, just Rum Nitty kind of being like a small, and like the prestige and everything about Loaded Lux is just, it's different, man. And so I'm just kind of like, what's he going to talk about? That's kind of the what I'm in, what's he going to talk about? And Lux is, Surf is, he's proved me wrong before, and I think he's a rare talent. It's just kind of like, I don't know.
All right, cool. So y'all let us know what y'all think. Go to Facebook in the comments, YouTube comments. Shout out to Armand Lux 2-1. He said best Surf in years, but it doesn't beat Lux. Was against Geechee Gotti. Hit us up on Instagram and Facebook and Twitter on your thoughts on Gnome, who y'all got and why. All right, so remember when I said I didn't learn anything this week? I lied. I actually remembered midway through when Loso brought up momentum. So if you are new to the show, let me hip you to some game. Momentum in sports does not exist. It's not a real thing. It's not a real thing. It is players win games, not some, this moment is the catalyst that changed everything. There are huge plays, huge moments. They're made by players. Momentum is simply something that we use to describe the miraculous, or when we can't describe what we actually saw, we're too dumbfounded. Instead of just describing what we saw, we use momentum. Here's why momentum is fake. I was listening to an article. We're going to jump into the NBA. I was listening to, not an article, I was listening to a podcast, and a guy said that who's the favorite coming into this bubble, right? He said the Lakers were the favorites because they had the momentum going into. And I'm like, bro, what does that have to do with anything? It's been like 4 months since basketball has been played. Don't talk to me about momentum during a pandemic, my friend. I don't want to hear that.
Hilarious.
Momentum does not exist in the pandemic unless we're talking about them numbers spiking. That's the only momentum that exists right now in our society. I don't want to hear about that. So with that being said, momentum in sports, not a real thing. Your ability to do your job, no matter the score or the circumstance, that's real. Now, let's jump into the NBA. Come hell or high water, they are going to have a season. They
shout out to LeBron James.
Man, Rudy Gobert tested positive. They said we're out of here. Umpteen players have tested at least upwards of 25 players have tested positive. The NBA like, hey baby, this money not gonna get itself. Right, you know what I'm saying? What we doing? So they're out here. The league will start at the end of this month. I'll ask you this, and this is a question we've kind of bandied about a few times. But what player stands to gain the most from winning a championship this year?
Man, I think it's LeBron James. I think I've answered that a couple times. I mean, he's the advocate for why the season is. I mean, he's continually been like, we need to have the season. We need to have the season. I think he's just the biggest voice in basketball. I think a lot of people believe they're only having a season because of how adamant he has been about having the season, you know, and he's got the squad that has been, you know, performing at a high level, and he's, you know, I mean, he's LeBron, and just, you know, where we're coming right off of the Last Dance documentary, you know, this kind of stuff. So I think it's LeBron, you know. There might be someone like Giannis or someone like who else? A Kawhi that could, you know, Kawhi comes and he wins it back to back with two different teams. Like you might start talking about Kawhi in a whole different light. You might start getting his name up there with, you know, some of the best ever comparisons. And then Giannis, you might just think like this is the start of what's to come, the future, you know. And so I think he could. But yeah, I know Loso said James Harden. I don't know about James Harden. I don't know if he has, you know, if he gains the most from it or not. But yeah, I'm going with LeBron.
I agree with Loso. I think it's a tie. I think it's James Harden and Russell Westbrook. I think those two guys, in terms of, they face the most criticism about you'll never win with those guys. You can't win with those guys. I know that is a criticism that's heavy on Russ. Westbrook gets not Westbrook, but Harden gets this guy just can't, when it matters, he can't deliver. And so if they come through this pandemic and they are able to win the title in Orlando, like I could see some people trying to put an asterisk behind it. I know some people were already saying that about LeBron. If he wins, there's an asterisk. But I think that Harden and Westbrook are the two who have the most to gain by winning the championship. So here's the thing about, somebody said Dame Dollar. Listen, Dame Dollar not going to be there long enough. Sorry, Thomas Washington Jr. Dame Dollar not going to be there long enough. Here's the thing that I think that's going to be what we need to watch out for is, will someone will someone testing positive? What swing will that have? Like, can you imagine if it's the Western Conference Finals, Clippers, Lakers, and LeBron, you know, they have these little COVID rings that they're wearing that lets them know about if they're healthy or they're sick or not. And let's just say like LeBron tests positive. It's game 4.
This is definitely my COVID ring. All right. This keeps me 6 feet away from everything. All right. Just so y'all know.
But yeah, that's something that could have, you know, something we've never planned for. Like a star player testing positive and not being able to play in a series, especially the finals or something like that. Like, That would be nuts. And I hope it doesn't happen, man. But we'll see what happens. We'll see what happens, man. Let us know what y'all think about that. So let's jump into football real quick. We're in Kansas City, and somebody got paid. Somebody got paid immensely. Patrick Mahomes, 10-year extension, $450 million, like 100 and some of that, 100 plus guaranteed. They set up the contract in a really interesting way where his base salary stays really low. He gains the majority of his money via roster bonuses. That basically that if the Chiefs control how much money he makes, because the Chiefs can cut him at any point in time, and then he doesn't get that money for that particular year. Who is this contract, in your opinion, who does this contract favor, the Chiefs or Mahomes?
Like I said earlier, I don't think anybody lost in this contract. I don't think Patrick Mahomes is going away from this contract saying, man, I really wish I would have locked up more in, base salary. I think he's doing pretty well. I think it's just a very smart contract for both of them. But I do think that the Chiefs probably end up having to find a place for Chris Jones to go. And so that's a huge loss for the Chiefs. But they have shown in the past that they know how to draft defensive linemen, that they know how to, cycle through them, and they know how to get defensive linemen ready. So I'm hoping, that the next guy can step in, or maybe the next guy they draft is kind of that guy, because Chris Jones is definitely not here much longer.
Man, see, I feel like they're going to be able to. And sorry, I think my computer is actually having some issues right now. But can you still see me?
You got the green screen. I can see you now. Yep.
Sorry, old PC, or old Mac, I should say.
Mm-hmm.
You get a flight. There you go. Maybe I might have to shut down the chat early. Maybe.
Yeah, it's still messing up.
I don't know. All right, so you know what? We'll pause the conversation here because obviously I am losing connection. We've been going for about a little bit over an hour, so I'm going to go ahead and shut it down. Let us know what you think. Please remember, you can check us out every episode of It's a Black and White Thing by going to Facebook. Yeah, I can see we're a little choppy. We're about to shut it down. Go into Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, search at Brains and Bars. You can also check us out YouTube, the podcast app of your choice by searching # Brains and Bars. We're going to get out here. We're going to pick up this conversation next week, talking about Chris Jones. Until next time, I'm A1, and it's been a black
and white
thing. I'll holler at y'all next week. Yo, thanks.
Appreciate
Shout out to everybody in the comments. Shout out to A Ward. Your mom has left some comments. Shout out to her. We love you. We're going to get out of here.
Hi, Mom. Love you.
All right, we'll holler at y'all next week.
Peace.
Did it freeze completely? Like, I'm not even sure this thing is even stopping right now, boy. It went haywire on me. Shout out to everyone who's getting the overtime of me trying to actually fix this, get this recording stopped.